France, a country like any other with many beautiful landmarks. The Louvre Museum, the Arc de Triomphe, and of course, the Eiffel Tower. You know, you get it? Because, like, the Eiffel Grand Prix, you know, like, Eiffel Tower, Grand Prix Tower. France also hosts a Grand Prix of their own, with a track that produces races that are so frustratingly boring that I'd rather be stuck in traffic on the M25. But luckily for us, it has also produced some amazing Formula 1 drivers. Looking back, and you have people like Didier Pironi, Jean Alesi, René Arnoux, and the professor himself, Alain Prost. More recently, we've had drivers like Jules Bianchi and Antoine Hubert, who were both tipped to be the next guys up. But sadly, they both tragically lost their lives in horrific accidents. On the current grid, we have 3 Frenchmen representing the blue, white, and red.
My name is Esteban Ocon.
Pierre Gasly.
Romain Grosjean, 30. Old am I?
And as you can probably guess from the thumbnail and the title, we will be talking about this fella, Esteban Ocon, a driver who coming into the sport was surrounded by immense hype and praise from Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff. During his first half season at Manor, he didn't really get the opportunity to prove his worth due to the limitations of the car's performance. His 2 seasons at Force India/Racing Point, however, showcased his potential to become a future world champion. In his first season alongside Sergio Perez, he was outqualified by his teammates 13-7 with an average deficit of 0.074 seconds and was outperformed by the Mexican 11-6 in races they both finished. Now, on the face of it, the head-to-head scores look like Sergio had a significant advantage over the Frenchman, which, to be fair, is true. However, most of the time, Perez and Ocon would both finish 1 place behind the other, which is also represented by their championship position, as they finished 7th and 8th respectively. In 2018, Sergio finished P8 in the championship with 62 points, compared to Ocon's P12 with 13 points fewer. However, the head-to-head scores tell a completely different story, as the Mexican was outqualified by his teammate 16-5 over the course of the season, with an average gap of just over 1/10 of a second. Ocon also beat his teammate 9-5 in races where they both finished and had 5 DNFs compared to Sergio's 2. Interestingly, both drivers had 2 mechanically related retirements, meaning that the other 3 for Ocon came as a result of collisions, all of which I personally don't deem to be his fault. Over those 2 years, Sergio and Esteban came together numerous times, and the tension between the two rose rapidly as the Frenchman was getting progressively faster. However, this momentum came to a sudden halt when a certain billionaire decided to buy Force India for $117 million and Ocon into unemployment. Well, kinda. He became the Mercedes reserve driver for 2019 and performed a lot of simulator work and testing for the Silver Arrows. The plan was that he sat out a year and hoped to claim Bottas' seat in 2020. But as we know, Bottas turned his fortunes around and proved to Mercedes that he was good enough to maintain his seat. An opportunity opened up at Renault after the team decided to drop Nico Hülkenberg, and this time Ocon seized the opportunity to partner Daniel Ricciardo. He had previously made an attempt to take the Renault seat in 2018, but through a lack of communication and understanding from one side to another, he narrowly missed out. The following season in 2019, he made sure that there was much clearer communication and refused to believe his seat was secure until he had the contract in his hands. Ocon himself said that if he missed out on a seat again, it would be, quote, over for me. So this brings us on to his performance this season against Daniel Ricciardo. Many have said that he has been somewhat underwhelming and isn't all that he was hyped up to be. And while there is some truth to this statement, I don't think we should jump to such a conclusion so quickly. If we take a look at the teammate rivalry in races this season, Ricciardo has the clear advantage over Ocon, beating him in every single race where they both finished, other than the 70th anniversary Grand Prix where he spun. And while Esteban has been beaten by his teammates in pretty much every single race, he has always been there or thereabouts, even beating his teammates last time out in Portugal thanks to some brilliant tyre management. If we look at the qualifying head-to-head, it's the same story. He started off the season relatively slowly and has been progressively getting closer and closer to Ricciardo every single weekend. He also displayed his superb wet weather ability in Styria by out-qualifying Ricciardo by nearly half a second. I will admit that Ricciardo has been wiping the floor with Ocon this season in pretty much every single category. However, this is Daniel Ricciardo we're talking about. A 7-time race winner, last of the late breakers, and a driver who many consider to be a potential world champion in the right machinery. He is arguably having the best season of his career in 2020 by maximizing every single ounce of performance out of the car on a consistent basis. Esteban is in his first year with the team, therefore it is to be expected that he will not be instantly on the pace of Danny Ric. He is also coming off a year where he sat out the entirety of a Formula 1 season, therefore getting back up to speed is something that takes time and patience. As with any young and inexperienced driver on the grid, he has, at times, been too eager to overachieve and made mistakes as a result. The real test will come when going up against Fernando Alonso next season. The Spaniard will be entering the newly branded Alpine team next season after 3 years out of the sport. He will also be hungrier than ever to lead the team in the right direction development-wise and bring home multiple podiums and possibly wins. We all know that Fernando has the capability to overachieve in a substandard car, and it will be no different in 2021. Esteban must be prepared to put up a strong challenge against Alonso, otherwise he risks damaging his reputation. If he gets schooled by a 40-year-old Alonso, I doubt Mercedes will be interested in promoting him to drive for them in the future. Which leads me to answer the question in the title. Esteban Ocon has 2 problems at the moment. They are George Russell and his fellow countryman Pierre Gasly. Russell, like Ocon, has been a part of the Mercedes Junior program for quite some time, and honestly, I think the Brit is in with a better chance of driving for the Arrows in 2022. Lewis Hamilton is also in control of when he feels like it's time to call it a day, so Mercedes will be waiting on him to make a decision. In the meantime, I doubt they will keep Valtteri beyond 2021, as they have to get one of their young guns integrated within the environment as soon as possible. Now here comes Esteban's second problem, Pierre Gasly. Ever since being demoted by Red Bull, Pierre has gone from strength to strength and rebuilt his confidence to a place where he is making incredibly bold moves stick on well-established drivers. His results this season have been phenomenal and have caught the attention of all the other teams, including Red Bull. He has just been confirmed at AlphaTauri for 2021, but judging by his performances recently, I think a top team will be prepared to give him a second chance to prove what he can really do. One of these teams are Renault, who I think could drop Ocon for Pierre in 2022, depending on how well Esteban performs against Alonso. But if a seat opens up at Mercedes, will they go for their academy driver, or will they go for his arch nemesis? Okay, maybe that's a bit dramatic. But these two aren't necessarily the best of friends. Personally, I feel like Gasly is the cork in the bottle for Ocon at this stage in their early careers, and the battle for that Mercedes seat will be extremely competitive. Having said all of this, don't take everything I say as 100% fact. This video is merely to act as food for thought and provoke discussion as to whether Ocon might lose the Mercedes seat he was promised. Just think about it. Esteban Ocon being denied a chance to drive for Mercedes because of this guy right here. Boy! Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to enjoy plenty more videos in the future. Leave your opinions on Esteban Ocon in the comment section below, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.